I know with absolute certainty, in some point of your life, you wanted something so greatly, something you thought to be light years out of reach. You could only watch it in your mind, idolizing it, fantasizing about having it, touching it, feeling it, only an imagined state. And to feel that state, it was like being shimmered in sparkling light, a glimmer in the pitch black essence, a drizzle of water as you lay parched. To believe the most you could have of something was the minuscule taste you were exposed to. How many of us have had a dream or goal which seems out of reach? To have repeated those words, too far-fetched, or that's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Perhaps it's just luck. We view miracles like they don't happen as often as we breathe, as often as we perish, and as often as we are made new and birthed. This state of, quote, a miracle and the state of destruction are two sides of the same coin. They are viewed heavily distorted and like they are vast worlds apart, when in reality they are the same essence. Like a mirror, they both reflect to you, unconditionally, what you produce. Vibration. Your resonance, your wavelengths given off by your electromagnetic body. It's as simple as, will you produce order, or is it chaos? Is it both? Many of us idolize those good, harmonious, and in order, prosperous ideas and moments. Those moments of true connection and expression, freedom. Only wanting these expressions. It is here we not only start suppressing the opposite, its counterpart, the very real and very necessary lack, the destruction, the restriction, and the lack of connection. We also start to believe that you can't have what it is that you want so badly, feeling ultra restricted and tied to receiving the opposite. You want it so badly that you think you already don't have it. You fail to see the presence of what you do want in this singular moment, this present moment. And with our constant suppression, our focus is negatively directed towards the lack, the feeling and the expression, the physical vibration of lack. It is objectively accurate to say when we pedestal our wanted, we fail to see both the presence of the wanted and unwanted. It's by putting this false light filter over it that we idolize it and then don't see all these projected false ideas that we've put onto it. We put this filter over it and then can't even see the real image behind it, that it has what you don't like as well. You just want to see what you want to see. And until we can see the habitants of both harmony and chaos in something, you can't understand or see the true picture before you. Merely vibration and everything before us, they give us a reflection. One showing if it is vibrationally harmonious, if it creates solidified shapes and a harmonious ecosystem. Or it will show a cause of chaos, destruction, and disorder with the cells and atoms of whatever body you're looking at. We have to recognize by our denial of one expression and focus entirely on another, we cause more disorganization. This is a direct act of unhealthy disidentification. It is suppression of identity. Ironically, this is an act to create more harmony, an idea of harmony, which, in theory of our small self perspective, will occur by us protecting ourselves, by ridding ourselves of that which is a threat. Which is funny because it does the exact opposite of our intention of harmony, all from our lack of knowledge. With only one or two sides viewed of, let's say, a 20 or 30-sided dimensional object, okay? You don't see all the information objectively accurate. And it's important to see we subjectively have an accurate view of the small perspective we have. It's according to what we can see, but that's not what is all there. It's what we do see. And by adding more perspectives of those different sides, you can objectively understand the full object, the full picture. You won't be able to make the best choices regarding all involved when seeing even half of the picture. So, from the belief of not having, we feel the need to separate further from anything we think can stop us or will harm us. If it stops us from connecting with our idol, our goals, our needs, our wants, anything that we think we don't already have, it can now be viewed as a threat. We idolize what we don't understand. Once again, our lack of understanding and our lack of knowledge creates an intense desire to chase after what we want, what we think will equal the most harmonious self, the most health, and the most optimal outcome with the needs that we're aware of and have prioritized to meet those. We idolize religions, spiritual practices, jobs, relationships, and maybe even ourselves, because we lack the knowledge to know we are already it. We spend our lives chasing, in constant movement, believing it is our actions which are creating the safety you want. With these practices, we try to get closer to something. With our yearning to keep things, people, places, emotions, circumstances, all to ourselves, we fail to see how we currently have it in this present moment, surrounding us. And most importantly, it's exuding from within you. Try to imagine this literally. By you knowing that you are whole, that is a state of unity. Things are literally connected. Imagine a bunch of people, okay, holding hands, right? Creating a circular shape. So everyone's standing around in a circle, holding on to each other. But if at any point, one person decides to say, I let go, and disconnect from the shape, the whole order of that entire solid shape is now broken. There is chaos and disorder because one person removed themselves. By removing just one person, identity, thing, or idea, this is what we are doing. We are objectively perpetrating chaos and disorder by failing to recognize all parts which do, in fact, already exist. I go on this tangent for the topic of today because the idea of something being special is not the problem. It's not that it's just special, it's the fact that we view it more special than another. This inherently implies something is less special. This is a common case of polarity, of idolizing and suppressing. To idolize one thing, you deny another. If you have been following my channel for a little while now, I have made one of my past videos on identification, titled Identification Made Manifest. Here we talked on how our identity produces an electromagnetic field surrounding that vibratory pattern and reflects more of those vibrations depending on what you're exuding. They are amplified depending on how much of you is fully identified to it, to something, an idea, and swayed or altered by wavelengths which may be produced in a split, canceling or creating distortion in opposing identities. So, we may have many identifications we are aware of, and it is here we either identify to being something or being, which being inherently implies the constant change of the state of existence. To be something, our identity attaches to one thing, rather than allowing for a constant flow and for that portion to exist and come and go as freely as it wants. It is when we identify with being, it creates room for other. Other is simply that which you do not identify with. So this is why we talked on 1, acknowledgement of other, creating unity, and 2, identification. Together we can put those two pieces together to understand and integrate a large portion of the idolizing and suppressing behavior that I think all of us do exhibit at some point in our life, more than others, and here and there, but we all do. By acknowledging other, and even if it is negative, we can objectively see it. By impartially seeing the positive, the negative, the chaos, the order, the destruction and the harmony, both and all at the same time, as a neutral thing, a mere reflection, we lose our identification to good being supreme and high. We lose our identification to bad being something we are just subject to just cause or because of some limiting belief we have placed and told ourselves. Our identification transmutes to knowing we are nothing but a conductor of energy, channels of vibratory frequencies which we can alter and do alter consciously and unconsciously in every moment. Losing our attachment to our identity around not having, not being able to get or receive. It is easy in the state of understanding to release everything. In understanding, we see many facts before us. 1, everything we see before us, or can be perceived, is translated and analyzed through our being. It is determined and differentiated through vibrational frequencies. Wavelengths softened or amplified, perhaps distorted. This means you, as a radio being, cannot nor would have connected to anything or even experienced a vibration without first exuding it. Meaning an idea, sensation, or physical circumstance, be it directly or indirectly, you had to first express it vibrationally in you. You literally, I mean physically, are producing the vibration you say you are not. The one you don't want to identify to. The one you say you don't have. You literally, physically, are it and are exuding it. You, recognizing you are connected and exuding all, allows for it to begin transmuting through the loss of emotional attachments and the release of the bias which acted as a disruptive energy to your intentional plan. Now you see the opposition as nothing more than a reflection of vibration. Or you can also see it as an objective vibrational frequency, which is nothing more than a mere reflection. Nothing more and nothing less than that. All is possible. All is a choice. By tuning into what you do choose to want, you can freely have. You are, at the end of the day, it. So, by you actually becoming aware of the limiting beliefs and integrating them into harmony, you exude what we call unity. Those prior vibrational states which say, I'm still building it, or I don't have it, or it's complete, it's chaotic, it's distorted, it's out of reach. All of these have no use besides a reflection. So stop identifying to it and start being conscious of it. Sit with those beliefs. If you, a part of you, doesn't think they have it or you have it, why? What mental belief is still associated and implemented to say this is your fact? Why is it that it is still your truth? What is it making you choose that truth over any other truth? What is it making you choose that truth over any other truth? Truth is nothing but vibration. Vibration is the only truth and the only reflection you will ever get. You pedestal because you think you are not it. From thinking you are separate, you yearn and create the vibrational state which says everything but having it. Everything but the I am of your case. It is not kind to idolize our favorite people. It is not kind to idolize our favorite circumstances, events, occurrences which have had or could or currently are occurring. It is not loving to idolize anything, our emotional states or even consciousness. Consciousness itself is not to be idolized. It is not loving, inclusive, or kind because you fail to do the one thing that love is. To acknowledge another person or part as a part within you. To take them as a part within self. Instead, with idolization, you fail to see the connection. You identify to the opposite of your idol, saying, you two are two different things. You then move to deny that you are what you identified with, as it opposes your sense of security and health. It's your idol. And everything that prevents you from being with your idol creates resistance to your unification, and yet do you not see the issue yet? Because when you're still not only identified to the opposite of something, you also therefore identify what you are identified to. You just deny it. How is it you can unify yourself with something when you deny yourself of existence in the first place? You can't. You try to unify yourself with your idol when you're trying to unify with an external thing that you ironically are stopping yourself from unifying because you can't unify within yourself. By you denying your own being of singularity, you deny that existence externally, and vice versa. So it's truly funny if you already know you are one, you can't stop being one. Though you can believe to be separate, and manifest the vibrational chaos, which literally and metaphorically is the manifestation of disorder and connection. When you have a lack of connection, it's just our physicality showing us where we need unity. It's an act dancing to respond and show the waves that actually are connected. They're connected by showing a response. They're always playing out whatever vibration we give to it. Regardless of the vibration, it will show. In this case of specialization, since all is us, you can better understand through this. Specialization causes identity loss within the human body, forgetting its own vibrational expression while shifting one's identity to the aspect of belief of loss. One where they will identify completely to being in the state of not having or not being able to have one's idol. And they will do anything to have, to keep, and to be safe with the idol. Their new vibrational identity is around one's idol and chasing and constantly building to try and unify and moving out of their centered personal sovereignty of one's own connection. They literally move their focus out of their own flowing abundance to center elsewhere. There is no completion in this state, the state of specializing, idolizing. Only a hamster wheel of time until someone realizes they've always had it, but limited oneself. You must recognize you are the vibrational existence, essence, and so you can electrically create and charge with enough force to create a larger magnetic field than your opposition. By increasing your charge, you increase magnetic range. And by increasing your identity to having and being something, increases your amplification. And by becoming aware of that which is opposing the state of having unity, connection, you transmute the vibrational identification which distorted the connection, and you unify it back into harmony. Just like that example of the circle of people, it's acknowledging the person who stepped away, and you ask why they felt the need to do that, why they felt the need to walk away. Knowing that every separation occurred to self-preserve, though it was not done from the state of unity, and so it was biased and not the most objectively accurate, so it's not going to be the most helpful in terms of being most harmonious. Being aware, letting the separate and suppressed feel safe enough to rejoin the group, this is where we truly have transmutation, integration. Because we already have everything. We're just here to resolve the inner dissonance. If you feel lack, what is it you are lacking? What do you need? What is it that you require? What do you want? Tune to that vibration, have it, be it, and act towards that. Someone expressing what it is that you want now can be seen with gratitude, and the one who cannot give you what you want and does not have what you want also can be seen with thankfulness. A gratitude of being able to see what it is you are identified to, reflecting a part of you who is vibrating at that. And the other to also show you your vibrational lack or should I say, the vibration of the opposite. You're still vibrating at something, so you're just identified to something else. Both are an objective and helpful tool towards evolution and ascension. You became conscious of both of those aspects within you. The person you enjoy no longer idolized, and the person you were scared of no longer suppressed. The case of idolizing other things, even circumstances, whether it be within yourself or externally, have simmered out. You no longer have an intense, unrelenting magnetism towards others. One where all of your focus and all of your energy used to be focused towards it. Now you have literally refocused back into your electromagnetic field within your human body. You receive the vibrational state you need, and so naturally exude and create a magnetic field once more for whatever it is you exude. Instead of being the one pulled at the detriment of your own health and draining your energy with no magnetic intake back, you center, focus, back to self, identifying what it is that is and is not helpful and how or why. You make choices to refill yourself and things and circumstances that will fill you. It will reflect health in your choices. One choice can simply be acknowledging that which is there, healthy and unhealthy. You see, that is what this entire lesson is about. It's not the idea of finding something special that is destructive or should be changed. It is finding that love and interest and admiration to share with and to everything. A healthy, equal thankfulness and an objective, accurate look at what each reflection is showing you in their vibration. It's holding consciousness and understanding by acknowledging all parts. The good, the bad, the pretty, the ugly. It's all just a tool to understand and translate vibration to our perception. It's losing our attachments from seeing we are one and disidentifying from being one thing from a whole, but now rather knowing and being the whole. Our resistance was made in vibration, causing disorder before us. It was this chaos, which was us believing to be separate, our separation causing us to then idolize what we want to be unified back to be whole. So, let us identify what story have you told yourself surrounding your idol, what it is you want to unify with, as if you're not already unified. Your pedestaled admiration. What is it? If it's something you put up to such an extent, it means it meets a need in some sort of way. Or at least you think it does. This vessel of idolization is a reflection of light that provides for you. What is it that it provides? What is it that you feel you don't have or that you can't freely access in another vessel? Is it a sense of security, joy, entertainment, excitement, wonder, freedom? Fill in the blank, but in some sense, or more of the word, the unfortunate misunderstanding occurs when we say this one thing is our only one who can express this met need. Whether it's something we want to experience or express ourselves, we want to say that this person or circumstance holds the key to that and is the only one who can ever show it to you. And so we become helplessly dependent on whether they can provide, whether they'll be able to fulfill us in that category. Will we be able to fill us in that category? It is here we must identify our need to see our limited thinking. Excuse me. And our additional limiting beliefs, which center around this identity, can now be analyzed. We're not based on other, and now rather ourself. Because from our identity of self, we interact with everything which is us pushed out, external. So by focusing and recentering in yourself, how is it you can revitalize that story to fit more accurately, more objectively? For example, if it's a person who provided a sense of safety or belonging, we could idolize them, saying this is the only one who can do this for me in that way, or in the way that they do. Or we can acknowledge that they simply reflected a unique vibrational pattern we exuded first, and because of the way that they reflected our choice, it is something to be grateful for. And whether or not that person, that specific energy, continues to exude our frequency as well, our chosen frequency, it does not matter, for we know with certainty whatever we continue to exude, we will unconditionally be met with that reflection. It is just a vibrational feedback system. And so as long as you continue to have a sense of unity within self, they will continue to encounter that vibration which is present physically. Whether or not it's the same vessel or not, one will continue to be fulfilled regardless, as long as they can hold their fulfillment vibration. One could switch this out and say the same thing about a negative vibration, that it is if someone we don't like, let's say, we are also exuding that vibration. It doesn't truly matter whether we actually like it or not, we're exuding that vibration. It's why we can connect to that person. It's why we're experiencing that person. Vibration simply cares what frequency you hold. It's the only language that it understands. You tell it what to do in frequency. That's all it hears. You can objectively be deserving or not. Why worry about having something being taken away or not being deserving or worthy of it, when the only thing that decides if you are worthy is you? How is it you are going to expect anyone to tell you you are worthy? You are the only one tuning your radio to that station. You're the only one who can choose. You're the only one who can pick that vibration that you are worthy. It is as simple as that, and if you don't exude it, then objectively you cannot access it, and privileges are revoked until you tune back. Limits unleashed, doors opening. The world is limitless, as far as you can imagine. Your only blockage is you, and the only one blessing you is you. See the specialness in all things. Hold immense gratitude for your reflections, be it in your mind or physical manifestations. It's okay to be thankful for the things that you want and that you have. A feeling state, an idea, love, career, living circumstances, opportunities. Doesn't matter. It just allows us to acknowledge that they are no better than or more valuable of a reflection than the very needed vibrations of the opposite, the lack thereof. How else would you know what you want? Without the force of uncomfortability, how could we move or choose our direction? The chaos shows where order must be found. The light of unity shines bright upon the dark canvas of potential. A harmonious couple who dances and puts on an act of existence, a performance for us. Only in our unity, our counterparts can be seen in completion, to be in completion. Our manifested harmony is as special and just as special as our manifested chaos. Accessible all the same, your vibration is the only one choosing that play. Out of reach, more like within you. Not even at fingertips grasp. The reality is, it's the skin of your fingertips, it's the blood, it's the nerves, it's the bones within you. It's all within you and is you. We idolize what we lack understanding in. Until one understands, they will find themselves bound by their own handcrafted chains to the one thing that they idolize, or maybe many. Until revelation, they are bound, and once we realize that all has been naught but our mirror, one is free, a hostage to your own mind, transmuting those shackles to the air as we fly, exploring the world in unison. Unity exposed in something beyond ties. In the togetherness, the one being soars the limitless skies of our immeasurable life. Honoring every expression of you, you'll find yourself falling in love with existence, and that is over and over and over again. As it is the simple fruit of harmony to have all you desire, from your state of melodic unity. It is yours, has been, and always will be you. It is not special enough to be inaccessible or taken out. It is special enough to exist and provide something of value to you. Cherish all things. They are all you and within you. Enjoy.